Hey everyone, it's me, I'm a game nerd here, bringing you my review, well, more so a double review for Magi Chapter 205 and 206. Now, the reason why I'm doing this more so double review is that last week I didn't review 205. I figured, you know what, I have quite a few things to say about 205, and I felt overall that was the better Magi chapter than say 206. 206 was a good chapter, but I feel like 205 was a superior chapter. Now, let's get on to the review. I'll start with 205, by the way. And above, like right here, you probably can already see unless you have annotations turned off. But if you don't really want to hear my thoughts on 205 and you just want to hear my thoughts on 206, right above there should be an annotation that lets you go straight to the 206 review. And if you decide to go and watch the 205 review afterwards, there'll be an annotation link to that. So yeah, let's get on to the review. The 205 more so starts out with Sinbad walking into the room and he wants to take part in a conversation with Yuan and Aladdin. And the fact that more so Sinbad blames Yuan for all the chaos in the world because Yuan summons all these dungeons. And he believes that through the world in chaos. And then I have always thought Yuan was the only Magi to be the only one to summon dungeons. But as it turns out, no. Jounral, he summons dungeons for the whole empire. And which I didn't expect. I thought Yuan was the only one. But apparently the Magis can retract dungeons because Yuan has retracted more dungeons than he's summoned because of Jounral. And then the fact that Yuan takes Aladdin with him, and they more so go to like a different spot. Then Yuan more so summons a tree, then takes what looks like more wood from all over Shindria, and he just builds like a log cabin in Sinbad's garden. And this is proof the fact that how strong Yuan probably is. I can't pronounce her fucking name. It's I think Yamaria, or however you pronounce her name. She's never seen this kind of magic form this kind of formula, and she is just having like a fangirl-gasm at this. And then here's another proof. Yuan creates a barrier surrounding it, and motherfucking Sinbad can't even damage the barrier. I'm like, shit, Yuan! What the hell? Then we more so move on to the chapter and we see a build around the log cabin. And the fact that Yuan's able to just conjure food just like that. And Aladdin's like, he's truly an incredible magician. He probably knows the truths about the world that no one else does. Which Yuan, this guy, now this chapter did disprove my fear, the fact that Sinbad was originally Yuan's king vessel, but I still believe the fact that Yuan probably told Sinbad a lot of the information he knows. I still believe that. And then we get another more so bombshell. It's the fact that Yuan has met Ugo several times, and each time of this he dies. And the fact that, just like more so what happened with Titus, Ugo resurrects Yuan in more so his current body. He's been resurrected in his current state 9 times. And he believes the fact the reason why he does this is why Ugo does this is for countermeasure against Al-Famen, which here's my theory as that Solomon probably gave Ugo a mission to be like, alright, you have to create at least recreate like the same Magi over and over again, so that way Al-Famen will not get at least their hands on all 3 Magi. Like they have their hands on Jounral, and the fact that I imagine recreating the same Magi over and over again will more so give him the same memory, the same morals, and just everything, just exactly like him before it. That way, he will never turn against King Solomon or Ugo. Well, at least the chances of him aren't that high as compared to them doing what they did with Jalal and just killing his Jalal's parents and taking him as baby. And then the fact that we learn the reason why Johann doesn't trust Sinbad is that he more so scares him. It's because he is too close to the ideal of a King Vessel. Like, no one is better suited for a King Vessel than him. And what is the fact that he more so reveals is the fact that more so King Vessels cause thousands of... It's the fact that Magis more so follow their instinct and choose a King Vessel. Then they more so establish great empires, but ends up killing dozens of people, but killing like so many people in the process due to the powers they receive from a Magi. And to me, a lot of these things in this part of the chapter is more so hinting at and foreshadowing a potential like World War major arc, like a World War arc in Magi that I think could potentially be the final arc of the series. And Johann even says in just about every other age, there's only been like 1 or 2 King Vessels, but in this one, there's like several different of them. It's like, I believe most, if not all, of the Seven Seas Alliance are all King Vessels. There's people from the Coal Empire, the Realm Empire. Like, the Coal Empire has 5 different King Vessels. Then there's the Seven Sea Alliance, which bring that together. There's 12. Then there's Hakiru. No, wait. 6 actually for the Coal Empire. Then there's Alibaba. I think bring that to 14. Then you just like, there's like, I'm not entirely sure the amount. There's probably like almost 20 King Vessels. And I can see the fact that in the future, I can see the Seven Seas Alliance getting torn apart, and the Coal Empire as well, and more so people are siding with them to more so become the leader of the next more so king. I could see a lot of this shit happening that causes a major world war, creating more Black Rook, bringing back that Black God thing, and more so completing Al-Famin's goal. This is the type of shit Al-Famin wants to happen. And I'm quite curious. Like, I do believe this a major war that's more so having all the King Vessels battle each other is going to happen. But yeah, overall, Magi chapter 205, great chapter. Give me your guys' thoughts down below. Did you love it? Did you love the chapter? Did you like it? Were you somewhere in the middle? Did you hate it? And now it's time to go on to Magi chapter 206. Alright, now to chapter 206. Now, 206, it picks up where the last chapter off, where Alibaba, Morjan, Oba, and Toto arrive in Babla, and they see things are now completely different. And Toto, and well, before that, we more so see the fact that some of the things like before and after, and some of the ways down now Babla looks. And then Toto states the fact that there has been rumors that the countries that the Coal Empire conquers literally becomes the Coal Empire itself. And then they see the fact that a bunch of people are wearing the same clothing. I'm going to skip, and they more so get a place to stay before more so some tomorrow. Then Alibaba ends up in the slums district. Then he sees Hashan and Salamba, the more so two of the former members of the Fark troop. And we see the fact that those two got married and now they have a son. And this part, what happens next, I actually found this part pretty funny. Their son is ugly as fuck. That is one poorly drawn baby, I must say. It really does look ugly. And we see the fact that Alibaba more so laughs his ass off. He says, "Gah, this guy isn't cute at all. His face is just like his father's. It's a real pity." And then we even see a comparison there in one panel to the baby's face and his father's. Then Hansen says, "You haven't changed at all, Alibaba." And then Alibaba's like, "Not really, a lot of things happened to me." And from then on, we more so find out like what's going on now. This is more so, I think, the interesting part of the chapter. I feel is that shit. What was her name? It's the fact that this is not very good to forget some. Like, here, let's see here. Samba. Yeah, Samba more so mentions what life is like now. On how they more so took everything both from the poor and the rich and gave them back equality. They gave them new clothes. They fixed the roads, the lead water, and they more so fixed everything that was on Babala before it. However, here's and it's sounding like more and more people are losing their individualities. Like, this is starting to more and more sound like communism. Then Hanson more so confirms the fact that these clothing that they wore, these are more so the only type of clothing they're allowed to wear, and only white, and they can't wear white clothing. Those only belong only people from the royal family, from Cole's royal family can. And this upsets him big time because they're more so national color from the slums. The Froth and the Fog troop were all white. And we even find out the fact that they can't even pick their job. Their job is more so picked for them. And this is by the Cole Empire. And the fact that he believes in 10 years' time the Babala will be completely forgotten and become something that far different than what it used to be. And the fact that this is definitely the interesting part of the chapter, because it's drawing this is essentially communism. When you get right down to it, it's taking more so people's more so their independence and individualities away, but yet they're living a better life before. And this is quite like, I guess this chapter could really spark an interesting debate, like, what is better for them, this life or their life before? They had more freedom before, but their lives, they really more so back in the slums, there was sickness, there was poor everywhere, where Alibaba's mom died of sickness, and she had to be a prostitute to take care of him. And it really does show the fact, some of the interesting things, the fact that in the slums, what was better before, this life or their past life or their current one. It's definitely, I would say, an interesting discussion in debate. And then the chapter ends off with Hansen says, "Let's go, Alibaba." And Alibaba's like, "To where? You want to talk to him, right? Let's go to Kashim's grave." Now, I see the next more so chapter, them focusing on, I guess the entirety of the next chapter most of it will be at Kashim's grave. And then we will, I guess, end it off at the start of the next day, like right before Alibaba goes to that summit. And here's how I could see the summit playing out. Is the fact that perhaps Alibaba, maybe at least more so, regret the decision of him not becoming king of Babala, because looking back on it, he could have fixed all of Babala's problems if he did become king, but he didn't want to. So that right there is an interesting question in itself. But overall, this Magi chapter, and no wait, one thing before I get to the ending of the my chapter, and one thing I see, two other things happening. I see the fact that perhaps he could more so make a deal with Cohen. The fact that he gets Aladdin, and Aladdin tells him just about everything Cohen wants to know in exchange for Babalah's freedom, because goddamn, Cohen was willing just to take Aladdin, kidnap Aladdin, just to more so get the information he wants. I can see more so in exchange like that. Aladdin tells him everything, and Babalah gets their independence back. That could be a potential thing that happens right there. And another thing is the fact that, if you saw my review for the last chapter, you know the fact that I see the fact that with a lot of the King Vessels, there's going to be alliances split up, and one of the things I see happening is that people are going to side with different members. Like, more so King Vessels are going to go all out war with each other, and people are going to side with the people of the world are going to side with a King Vessel in particular. I see the people of Babalah siding with Alibaba for sure, like the entire Morisco country of Babalah. I see him signing with Alibaba since he's a former noble from there. But yeah, overall, this was a solid manga chapter, though I did think 205 was the better chapter. I'll leave you guys up to debate down in the comments. Which chapter did you thought was better? Did you like both chapters? Did you hate them? Were you somewhere in the middle? If you like this video, leave it a like. If you dislike it, leave it a dislike. And yeah, anyways, I'm a gamer signing out.